Hello, everyone. There are assumptions in the world so basic that they're not even questioned anymore. Like, say you're making a sandwich. Before you put anything on the bread, you're going to take the bread out of the bag, right? Like, humans can't eat plastic, and recipes aren't going to include that step in the recipe when you're making the sandwich, take the bread out of the bag, because they already assume that you're going to do it. Well, today I'm going to challenge a very similar assumption, but when it comes to yarn. The yarn is dry when you buy it from the store, and the yarn is also dry whenever you measure gauge, especially when it comes to knitting patterns when you have to make sure that it fits your body in the way that you want it to. But I was just curious, what would it be like to knit with wet yarn? So I've got some wet yarn right here. I just threw it under a faucet and filled it up. You can see there's some water there. And we're going to find out what it's like. I have no idea how I'm going to clean this up later. That's a problem for future Becky. But we're going to give it a shot. So the first thing to do is to, first pull up my sleeves so they don't get like super wet. There you go. I'm going to reach in. Ooh, hear that? Such a pleasant squishy sound, huh? Okay. Well, we're going to try to wring out some of this extra water so it creates less of a mess. Okay. Now it's no longer soaking, it's just damp. All right. Going to cast on some stitches here. How many do I got? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Yarn's definitely heavier. I mean, that's what happens whenever you get a wet fabric, right? The fabric comes heavier than if it was dry. No, that worked. Okay. Oop. Just flung some water there. I didn't realize I had that much water in here. I mean, it's a piece of knitting. There's like a drip of water on the yarn tail going down, which I could probably like squeeze out. Yeah. Now we're just going to do a row of purl here. Yeah. You can see just this feels like that moment in Arrested Development where Michael pulls out a bag from the fridge that says dead doves on it, and he opens it up and his response is, I don't know what I expected. I don't know what I expected by using wet yarn. I mean, I soaked it in. I think the assumption about using wet yarn is not so much the effect of the knitting, because obviously it had no effect on my knitting whatsoever. It's more about the keeping of the yarn itself, you know? Like, I can't store the yarn like this now. Because if I leave wet yarn like this, it's going to develop mold and it's going to ruin the quality of the yarn. But when it comes, if I use like a different liquid other than water, maybe it would be different. Huh. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I have now attempted to put a bunch of other different liquids with the yarn. This is now a disgusting mixture of chocolate syrup, ketchup, milk, and Gatorade. We have a couple different things going on here. So let's pull this out. Should I wear rubber gloves? No, let's wear rubber gloves on only one hand. Yeah, it's up there. Okay. That way I won't get the filming device dirty, but we can still experience the incredible disgustingness of whatever this is. Okay. Ugh. Okay, come on. It's harder to grasp now. Ugh. Let's squeeze it. Ugh. Oh, this looks terrible. This was a bad idea. Oh my gosh. I should have worn gloves on both. Anyway, ironically, the cleanup process is going to be easier because now there's no hope for saving this yarn after it's done. This yarn is going straight into the trash, which is good in that I didn't use a yarn that I cared about. This is just like cheap acrylic yarn. Oh, the chocolate, despite being in this mixture, still smells amazing. The rest of it, not so much. Well, the ketchup. I mean, I love ketchup, but all right. Well, ooh. Okay. Let's try it now. Oh, it's like dripping down my arm. Ew. Ew. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. It's definitely holding more liquid this time around. All right. I mean, that didn't change the actual knitting process so much. It changed the color of the yarn. Like even the things that were like thicker and like more viscous didn't really like affect the process. Although now the knitting needles are dirty. They didn't get dirty with the water. Oh, there's like a hair there. Oh, ew. It's probably mine. Okay. I mean, once again, this did not affect my actual knitting like skill, what this would affect is the yarn would be like super stained when it dried. And it doesn't look as good either. I mean, we got like some hair knitted in there, but that also happens when you do it with like dry yarn too, because hair just falls down. It's like, hey, more string, let me just go da 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 da. The yarn ball is beyond repair. Yeah. This mixture does not smell as bad as I was expecting it to, but still wouldn't be something I would eat altogether. Anyway, that was today's entertainment. I don't know what I learned. I don't know if you learned anything, but I hope you found that funny. Have a good day.